Hello everyone! Last time we looked at Sonic the Hedgehog for the Master System, and since then I've had requests to look at Sonic 2 for the Master System, so that's what we'll be looking at today.
Now, just like the first game, this was made to coincide with the release of Sonic 2 for the Mega Drive.
One thing I've learned recently is that this game actually came out a few weeks before this game, meaning that Sonic 2 for the Master System is the first appearance of Sonic's sidekick Tails. Well, that's enough random facts, let's get into the game.
Well, it looks like Tails has been captured by Robotnik, so it's our job to save him. The first level is Underground Zone. The graphics are very similar to the first game, but a bit more polished, and one massive change is that if you do get hit while carrying rings, this time you have the chance to pick some of those rings up you've dropped, and believe me, this game would be a lot harder without that. You can jump inside these minecarts to get around, just make sure you jump out of them at the right time, but to be fair, these first two acts don't really cause many issues. So, as we go through to Act 3, there are no enemies and no rings either. I smell a boss coming up. So I took a leap of faith here, and Robotnik appears to save me from the lava. That's odd. And then he drops me off so I can fight this creature.
So he saves Sonic so that I can fight a boss that's trying to destroy me. Evil geniuses are just on a level that we do not understand.
So this is a very easy fight. You just have to avoid these bombs, which will then hit the boss at the bottom of the screen. After a bit, Robotnik will throw himself at you. Avoid him, and then the boss is destroyed. He flies off defeated, and we move on. Sky High Zone. Here's where I have a confession to make. As a kid, I never made it past this act, and the thing is, it's really not that hard, until you get to this part where you need to use a glider to get across to the next part of the level. It's been over 30 years, and I have only just now figured out how to control Sonic in this glider. After many attempts, it finally clicked with what you had to do. You have to build up your speed as much as possible, and as soon as Sonic grabs the glider, you let go of every button. Seriously, if you so much as tap a direction, you will lose all momentum. Hit the jump button, and Sonic will let go. So as you're floating, when you start to drop, just tap left on the D-pad. Every now and then, do this until you get across.
9-year-old me would have killed to know that.
So, Act 2. It's dark and raining now. There are more gliders here, but you don't have to use them in this act. There's clouds to run on, there's clouds to bounce on, and there's clouds you fall through. You've just got to figure out which one's which. The boss of this stage are these little robot chickens. Destroy all of them, and these eggs, and then a big robot chicken comes spitting the odd fireball at you. That was weird, man. Stage 3 is Aqua Lake Zone, and if you spin towards the edge of a platform when there's water below, you'll bounce across that water like a skipping stone. Doing this whenever you get the opportunity will pretty much skip you through the entire act. Act 2, however, is completely underwater. It is a much nicer experience than Labyrinth Zone from the previous games. It has these regular air bubbles, but it also has these bigger bubbles that you can jump in to float through parts of the stage. They're pretty cool. The boss here is a robot seal. Easiest boss in the game. Just wait until he starts blowing up this orange ball thing, and then hit that. Do that a few times and that's it. Now it's Green Hills Zone. Obviously Green Hill Zone is the first level in Sonic 1 for both the Master System and the Mega Drive, but it's stage 4 here, and it's by far the easiest level in the game. There's more rings than you can shake a stick at, and not many enemies. I reckon when this game was made, this was supposed to be the first level, and at some point they decided to switch the order. And when I got to Act 3, I figured out why. Now, in Act 3, there are no enemies, but as I've said, there are no rings in every zone's Act 3. Here you have to use these springs to bounce your way over to the boss. However, some of these jumps are very precise, and if you get one wrong, you are probably landing on some spikes. If you do make it through, you'll be greeted by this robot sumo bull thing. Pretty simple, avoid his attacks and hit him when you can. Gimmick Mountain Zone. I really don't have much to say about this level. It's got a similar vibe to Scrap Brain Zone from the last game. That industrial feel, only this time inside of a mountain for some reason. The boss is the tricky part here again. You've got to jump over him as he comes charging at you, and then you get a small window of time to get a hit in. The hard part are these rocks that fall down. They're a lot harder to avoid than they look. Scrambled Egg Zone is where it all hits the fan. It has these tubes that shoot Sonic through the level. The problem is that these tubes have different directions you can take. You move through them so fast, your reflexes have got to be so on point, not only to see the potential of the direction, but to make sure you take the right one. But saying that, I don't know which way's the right way. It's all trial and error. Thank God for that. Act 2 somehow manages to take it a step further. There's a part where you have to jump on this moving platform to go to this tube, and then take the right routes through the tube to make sure you land back on the platform while it's moving. And if you get this wrong, which is very easy to do, you'll fall into a pit of spikes with no way out. So that's one life lost each time. I can't even do this justice, just watch how quick and precise you have to be. Getting that right is one of the hardest parts of the game for me. Now it's time for Mecha Sonic. He's quite unpredictable at first, he spins and jumps all over the place, but as long as you're jumping or spinning, he can't hurt you. But likewise, when he's jumping and spinning, you can't hurt him either. You've just got to wait for an opportunity to hit him when he's not spinning. And that's the end of the game? That's weird. We haven't seen Robotnik since the start, and don't we need to save Tails? I guess that's where Sonic is going. So Tails died?
That can't be right. Come on, let's check the manual.
Oh no, it says you've got to collect 6 Chaos Emeralds to catch up with Robotnik and save Tails.
The thing is, I didn't find a single Chaos Emerald while playing through that. When playing through the first game, okay, I didn't find them all on my first run through, but I found a couple. Guess we're just going to have to go again, scour every stage for an emerald.
So the first emerald wasn't too hard to find. In Underground Zone Act 2, you just stick to the highest path, and it also requires some well-timed jumps out of these minecarts, and you'll make your way to it. The second one was not so easy to find, searching high and low in Sky High Zone until, after bouncing off this cloud, I spotted it up there. Need to get back up there? Yes! On to the next one. I'm looking. I did also forget to mention that in Aqua Zone Act 2, it has these things that work similar to the tubes in Scrambled Egg Zone, but they're nowhere near as confusing or as impactful. And, oh, there's Emerald number 3. Halfway there. You need to take the highest path for the Emerald in Green Hill Zone. Just use springs to bounce yourself up. That's the only way to get there. Gimmick Mountain Zone has a secret passage through a wall you have to go through. Just follow that path and it'll take you to the Emerald. After searching Scrambled Egg Zone for what seems like hours, there's still no sign of that emerald.
Well, I give up. Maybe it was just a misprint in the manual. Maybe there are only 5 emeralds. Probably not, but you never know.
Might as well just finish the stage and call it a day. Wait, did you see that? He just dropped an emerald. And now there's another stage? So I actually came to look this up, and it turns out that Mecha Sonic will drop the last emerald if you've collected the other 5. I dread to think how many players back in the day spent ages searching Scrambled Egg Zone looking for that last emerald, when really all they needed to do was finish the stage.
Why doesn't he just always drop the emerald? Hell, you need all of them to get to Crystal Egg Zone anyway. At least then you'd know where the last one was. I don't know, man.
So anyway, Crystal Egg Zone. Well, my first question is, why are they assaulting my eardrums with this 8-bit musical abomination? Seriously, listen to this. To be fair, the music does calm down after that, and then you're left with this nice groovy beat. To be honest, there isn't a lot to say about these first 2 acts. 2 very easy acts, full of rings, a few extra lives. They're like a very peaceful reward for making it this far. And now it's time for the final fight, and it's the first fight we've had with Robotnik. This is a lot easier than it looks. There's a tube that you can shoot round that runs all around his machine. He can't hit you when you're in there, so just wait for him to finish doing his stuff. Pretty much after the lightning strikes, then there's a few second window for you to attack. So just pop up, hit him, and then pop back in the tube. Do that until he's done. Robotnik does end up escaping, but Tails is safe and sound. I don't know what's going on either, Sonic.
And that was Sonic 2 for the Master System. And I have to say, these Master System Sonic games are great. I mean, they're not as good as the Mega Drive ones. No, they're not. But if you've never played them, you've got to give these a chance. There is actually a 3rd Master System Sonic game. And maybe we'll look at that someday. But as for now, I think it's time to move away from the Master System, explore a whole new world, you might say. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.